Hello everyone and welcome to another HRL 2024 video. In this one we're going to be going over the preseason event that we're going to be holding soon on February 9th. So under a week away from that, coming up very quickly, and the season start is still February 16th, so a little under 2 weeks to go on that one. So yeah, everything will be up very shortly, and even though it's like technically a preseason event, it's going to feel like the start of the season. So pretty crazy that it was a long off season, and now we're pretty much here. So yeah, pretty crazy how quickly things moved. So yeah, not all of the special format nights in the season will get a video like this. I mean, maybe I'll do like some trailers or something like that, some quick explanations. But honestly, I think most of them are pretty straightforward and not that confusing. So I don't think they warrant the whole video, but this preseason one is pretty intense, so I think it does warrant it. So that's why it's getting its own video. And also, I did a bunch of explaining over text on the Discord channel, the Megamix Discord channel as well. So if you prefer to read through it, or if you want to do that in addition to this, you can check that out as well. But in the background here, we're looking at the track that this preseason event is going to be on. It's going to be on the sports car circuit for Hogtona. So this one has the infield road course, and that's what we're going to be racing on for this. And it's going to be a multi-class event. And you know, how is that going to work? How is that going to go down? Because it's not something that we've done before. Well, there's a bit of explaining to do. So let's start from the top. So again, it's going to be on this track. The event is going to be one moto. It's going to be one 40-lap long moto, so it's going to be a pretty lengthy one. The lap times on this road course circuit for Hogtona are a bit under a minute. I want to say the hog times are about 50 to 51 seconds, and the goose times are like 53 to 54 seconds. So a bit of a gap between the vehicles, but about under a minute for both. So it's going to end up being, with pits thrown in, like a 35-ish minute long race, somewhere around there. But we are going off the lap count, and again, it's going to be 40 laps. So the night will start with some qualifying, and we're going to do qualifying for this event because I think there's a cool way to do it, and obviously with it being a vehicle event, you know, if we're doing heats, how exactly would that work? Would we do like a split in the heat with the pits, or would we do like a goose heat, a hog heat, and like do the average or something? I don't know. It'd be kind of weird. But with qualifying, I think there's a really cool idea there to combine the vehicles and make it work. So the way we're gonna do qualifying is, I think we're gonna pick a pit stall for everybody to use for qualifying. It'll probably be like the last pit stall at the end of pit road, or the first one at the entry. That's something that we'll probably decide upon on the night of. But for competition's sake and to keep everything fair, I think we'll use the same pit stall for everybody. And the way we're going to do qualifying is you're going to run your initial lap with whichever vehicle you choose. Start off with the hog or the goose. It's up to you. And then at the end of that lap, like before you complete the lap, you're going to go in for a pit stop, switch to the other vehicle, continue on with that vehicle, you know, completing that first lap with the stop. And then you're going to run that next lap, 2-lap qualifying, with that vehicle and come across the line with that vehicle. So there's going to be a pit stop mixed in to your 2 laps of qualifying, and this isn't going to be normal qualifying where it's like take your fastest lap. It's going to be the combined time of these two laps with the stop included into that. You know, it's going to be like the whole thing, and it's going to be your combined time. So that's what we'll be going based off of. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, we've never done. I don't know if we've ever done like combined time. Maybe we did it for like tiebreakers. For like 2-lap qualifying. I don't know if we've ever done that, and I'm pretty confident we haven't done, and if we have, it's been a long time, like the pit mixed in to a qualifying lap. So, and then of course doing like the 2 different vehicles too. It's a pretty cracked format. It's a pretty cracked idea. So it should be interesting. I'm excited to see how that goes. So that'll determine the order. and not just the order for the field, but then we'll pick the actual pit boxes for the race based off of that as well. And the way the race start is going to go is we'll do it kind of like gate picks. So you're going to start the race on either the goose or the hog, and everybody like going in line of who got pole to the bottom qualifier. We'll pick of course their pit boxes and what vehicle they want to start the race in. And the way we're going to do the start is the hogs will start up front and the gooses will start behind. So like, for example, if the first two drivers both decide to start hogs, they'll be first and second in the hogs. If the third driver decides they want to start in the gooses, they'll be the first driver up in the row of gooses. So the vehicles aren't going to be mixed in because it's probably just going to cause too much chaos. And that's not really how like actual multi-class races work. So the vehicles won't be mixed in. It'll work like that. So, picking that first place like goose spot, even if you're going to be behind in the start, will come with its own advantages of being in the lead of that group at the start. So it'll be interesting. There'll be some strategy to it, and I'm curious to see how it plays out and how people decide to do it. So now getting to the actual race. So it's a 40-lap race. There's going to be 20 laps you're going to run in a hog, 20 laps you're going to run in a goose, and the stints are going to be 10 laps. So you're going to have to pit at the end of every 10-lap stint, except for, of course, the last one, because you're just going to run to the finish. So again, 40-lap race, and I'll give you an example. Like, let's say you start in the hogs. All right, start in the hog, run 10 laps, then you're going to swap to the goose. And then 10 laps, hit the pit, swap to the hog. 10 laps, hit the pit, swap to the goose, end the race in the goose. Or start the race in the goose, 10 laps, hit your pit, go for the goose again. 10 laps, hit your pit, go for the hog again. Hit your pit, go for the hog again, close out the race. How do the pit stops work? So we're not going to be doing like the shooting for the Magnum or anything like that. You're just going to be doing the vehicle swap, and I've been showcasing it a bit in the background here of the video. You're just going to be hitting the vehicle swap. Now, what do you do if you decide to do like what I mentioned in that last example, where you go from like the goose to the goose? Well, then you'll just get out of your vehicle and get back in your vehicle and then go on. That'll be, you're running for that. Whereas if you do like if you go from goose to hog, then of course you'll have to swap the vehicle. But if you're not swapping the vehicle, if you're just doing your two goose stints back to back, then you're just going to get out of your vehicle and then get back into it, and that'll be your pit stop. So that's how the pitting works. And try to keep in mind that you're going to be using those same vehicles, right? There's not like the vehicle respawning, so you probably the same like 2 tires in the box. Like try to adhere to that and try to probably be pretty clean with your pits. Because you can see right there, like if you do a lazy pit and don't line it up properly, don't line up the tires in the box, it's gonna screw with you down the line. Except for, of course, that last stop. So try to keep that in mind. That's how the strategy will work. Everybody will have to do that. Everybody will have to pit on the same laps, but they're going to be on different strategies and different pit boxes. And whoever is in whatever order at the end of the 40 laps, that's who wins. And the incentive to show up is it'll determine your heat starting order for the Hogtona Week 1. So, like, for example, if you win this, you will get that Heat 1, Position 1 starting order. If you get second, you'll get Heat 2, Position 1, and down the order. Any more explaining, leave questions in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope that helped a bit. And I'll see you at the preseason event, hopefully.